This daf Yom Yerushalmi Shabbos and the article Ozvar Hadeshim and Tzadik Hayam Ralph. We're at the sixth line down where the word bepiskia, and in the Vilna that is on Ayechesim the fifth line down. Now I should point out, and I'm going to go back to yesterday and reopen the issue, except in one prat. But in the Vilna, between the word meshuchal and bepiskia, there's two dots. In the article, there's no two dots. And the article puts the two dots after Hadamra Enchol Kiril Ben Yaakov, and then starts a new sugya on Rabbi Ba. Whereas the Vilna, as I said, puts the two dots here between Meshum Meshucha and Piskia, and it's till Meshum Meshucha's continuation of the previous sugya. So I guess I'll go through it very briefly. That according to the article, Hadamra Enchol Kiril Ben Yaakov, going back to those couple of lines, that's the end of the sugya. It's a statement. It's not a question like we learned yesterday. And the statement is that somehow from that Mishnah, from that B'tei Sefta, which we learned from Mefakvin and Mafkin and Matir and Mechoichim, etc., there's a raya that Rabbanan agree with Elazar ben Yaakov. And then it's news to the thing. On Rabbah b'chevel shachlu mas nisin, the Mishnah where next case where Rabbi Yehuda is matir b'chevel, it's a chevel which comes in out. It's shachul, it's stuck in, but it can also be removed. Then mas nisin chevel shumeshuchal. Then continues on b'piski b'chevel matir, etc. Okay, and then the article actually takes out some of those words because they become extraneous, according to the article's version. But according to the way we learned yesterday, means that that's a case in which Elazar ben Yaakov and Rabbanan can agree. And I'd like to correct one thing I said yesterday, that it's not necessarily that it has to be Meshucha from Erev Shabbos. It can even be Meshucha on Shabbos. The point is that you have your Meshucha through one post, and on the other side you tie it, that knot is going to come in and out. Okay, so therefore, I'm not sure it has to be Meshucha before Shabbos. I saw Yerushalmi Shabbos says even Meshucha on Shabbos. But in any event, everybody could agree where there's one hour it's supposed to come in and out, that even Chachamim are going to agree with that. So therefore, it's going to close the question. No. Everybody agrees that that's okay. Anyway, now the next, now again, according to the article, Piskia is not a new thing, but the way we're learning it, which is according to the way the Vilna has the two dots here, we're going on the next part of the Mishnah. Piskia avalo bechevel Rabbi Yehuda matir. You can only use tie a tzli with a belt on Shabbos, now with a rope. Rabbi Yehuda's matir. Then it should say actually v'chule, because we're going to the next part of the Mishnah. So it sounds like Pitzel stay by Rabbi Yehuda. What do you mean? So it says Gemara, Rabbanan lo? Rabbanan don't agree with that principle? Of course they agree with that principle. So it says when I begin the Tina Kan Mezid Shem Rabbi Yehuda. Since the first statement is named Rabbi Yehuda, previous statement we mentioned Rabbi Yehuda. So Agabur of Hadim Shem Rabbi Yehuda, but even Chachamim agree with this. Okay, but let's analyze that further. Klam Rabbi Yehuda Kokash Shel Kram and Chayavin Alav. Shul Shem Mezid said Kini Masnisa Kokash Shel Kram V'Hula Shah and Chayavin Alav. Any Kesher Sheinu Shel Kayama, you're not chayav of, and even it's a kesher shel chayama, but it's hula shah, it's temporary, and chayav of. So in order to be chayav, I need two conditions. One, it's a kesher shel chayama, and two, it's made to be permanent, right? But if it's either conditions lacking, it's not a kesher shel chayama. The Korban Ada and the article talk about a slip knot according to Rabbi Yehuda, but okay, I don't think we have to put that in necessarily here. Chaim leaves that aspect out. The any kesher which is not permanent, right? It's not. It's not a professional kesher shokayama, or even a kesher. It is a kesher, but it's not meant to be permanent. It's only meant to be temporary. Those are not chayiv, and it could be that. In certain circumstances, if I recall correctly, in certain circumstances in Shas Adchak, where it could be matir, a double knot on Shabbos. I'm not looking up the halacha right now, so I'm not passing anything, but I think that it's based on the assumption that it was made l'shah, so then it might even be mutzah to take out. But again, I don't want to take out cries without looking it up, without looking it up. Okay, halacha gimel. Mekapas kelim, you can fold garments. When you remove them, you can fold them. I feel arba chamisha pami, even 4 or 5 times. Uh, the um, um, the in order to, let's see, kormedo. Kapas kelim going kishapashim kaplim. These garments, when you take them off, you fold them. Nation sarachim kibusa, because they're soft from the laundering. Miskantik shlim kubayin, they get all creased if you don't fold them. I feel arba chamisha pami kedei lachzor. The love sham bayom bo bayom, in order to wear them that day, not to prepare for after Shabbos. Mitzina mitos, you can make the beds Leil Shabbos to Shabbos, from Leil Shabbos to Shabbos. Avol lo miyom Shabbos yom Motzei Shabbos. Now Shabbos Motzei Shabbos, it's a chana for Motzei Shabbos, which is forbidden. Shema merkabes came at Mitzina mitos yom Kippur Shabbos. You can fold the garments and make the beds from Yom Kippur to Shabbos. If Yom Kippur came on Erev Shabbos, which it does not for us, but then Yom Kippur can prepare for Shabbos. Chelvei Shabbos craving Yom Chelvei Shabbos craving Yom Kippurim. If you have chalavim, which are left over in karbonos of Shabbos, and Motzei Shabbos Yom Kippur, which again doesn't happen for us, they can be brought on the Mizbeach on Yom Kippur. Kiva said, no, Lo Shel Shabbos came Yom Kippur, and Lo Shel Yom Kippur came Shabbos. It's not subordinate. So therefore you can't do Yom Kippur, Shabbos on Yom Kippur and not Yom Kippur on Shabbos. The Pnei Moshe specifies Chel Shabbos. So the evidently the way he's learning that drasha is that Shabbos, the Shabbos can be Koreh b'Shabbato even on the Shabbos of Yom Kippur. Okay, says the Gemara. The base of Rabbi Omei, and the base of the house of Rabbi said, Kipul b'shnayim is also to fold garments with 2 people. That takes out the creases. It's more professional, and it's also. It looks like, as the Gemara says, nira kimasake. It looks like you're fixing. Menachem said, "Ein mekaplim b'Shabbos b'shnayim." Similar idea, right? You can't fold with 2 people on Shabbos. V'ayin a couple of susala, and if you sit, if you have. Well, Kabbalah says a couple of pshatim. Yeah, we're seeing both of them. Here, Kabbalah says, so you're sitting on one end of the whatever you're folding when it's on the bench. So that's again much more professional. You're folding it on the edge of the bench. And in order to move the crease, so you're doing it on the edge. This is definitely awesome. The commanding you train, it's like 2 people. A guy said, "Lo nidnu Shabbos l'mitayim ela la'achila v'shasiya." Really, the Shabbos Yom were given for eating and drinking. Like it says, for pleasure and for respite. So the Meiri, I believe it's the Meiri who says. For the Baal Batim who don't learn the whole week on Shabbos, they're supposed to learn. But for Talmidei Chachamim who learn the whole week on Shabbos, they can take a respite, they can relax. So I guess it's going. Kremir is going to Talmidei Chachamim. Lo inu Shabbos yom tov melichil v'shasiya. Aidei shapezeh masriach. But because the mouth would become rancid if you're only going to eat and drink. And Cormeir says, not literally rancid, but they're going to start speaking Lashon Hara. Or maybe they'll gorge themselves. This is more literal. Hakiva Kalas Rosh are going to come to regurgitate, and also to Kalas Rosh. So either Masriach is. I think it's more figurative, but there is a way of understanding literally. He tiro laso b'medivrei Torah. So he permitted you to learn divrei Torah on Shabbos. Right. So according to the Meiri that we talk about Talmidei Chachamim, right? Brecha b'shem Rabbi Chia Barba said, "Lo nidu Shabbos yom tov el lasok ben divrei Torah." So Shabbos only given to learn Torah, and that would, according to Meiri, that would be going to Baal Batim, like they wouldn't be arguing, right? They wouldn't be going on one about Batim, but according to Sham, it seems like it's two different perspectives and clashing perspectives. And we have evidence for both. Masisim Sai Bain Ladain Bain Ladain. We have Brises, which seem to indicate like both of them. Kate also was it say so what do you do as a result? Either you eat and drink, or you are assimilating Torah. So the there's Rabbi Yosef Engel has a whole shtickle in Tzinim Torah, and it's based on the parallel sugya in the Bavli in Psachim Daf Samiches, where it says you have shnei ksua machishim zeh when it says Shabbos Hashem, Shabbos Ulachem, right? It's whatever. It's like here we have Kosev Echad Omer Shabbos Hashem, Kosev Echad Omer Atzeres Hashem Lokecha. So you have shnei ksua machishim, and the Carbonated changes it to Kosev Echad Omer Atzeres Tiyeh Lochem. Right. Because the second one should be Atzeres Tiyeh Lochem. The first is Hashem, first is Lochem. So he says, and there's no Kosev Shlishi Yachriya B'neim. So the many different alternatives we find throughout Shas, and we show him how you deal with Shnei Ksum Machishim Zeh, where there's no Kosev Shlishi Yachriya B'neim. So there's those old Chetzi Hashem, Chetzi Lochem, right? And those old Okula Hashem, Kula Hashem. And there is, and this is the issue over here as well. So right, so again, Kosev Echad Omer Shabbos Hashem. The other pasuk says Atzeres Tiyeh Lochem, right? Ha Ketzat Chilek Talmud Torah v'Chilek Lechol B'Shtos. So this is so you have Chetzi Hashem, Chetzi. This is the opinion of Chetzi Hashem, Chetzi Lochem, right? Divided up. Whereas the other Mount Amrim, which I previously say that no, it's either one or the other. But even the one who said that you can eat and drink, then even he said, yeah, but you have to learn some Torah. You can't just say not learn Torah, because then the Pez Masriach. So again, like I said, the Meiri was reconciled then by saying the differences between Ba'abatim and B'nai Torah. Okay, Amr said, Shabbos LaHashem, Shvos KaHashem. Shabbos Hu LaHashem, rest like a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Ma Kodesh Baruch Hu Shabbos B'Mayim Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is from Dibur, because you created the word B'Dibur. At Shvosi Mayim, so too you. This is from Dibur. So the Korban says Afato Shvosi Mamar Sholodar B'Sichos Chulin Shem Tzochem Miskei Shabbos, not to speak mundane matters which are not required for Iskei Shabbos. The Moshe says differently. The Moshe says even just saying what you're going to do after Shabbos teaches Menu, and Chayuv the Kami like the story we're about to see. I wanted to point something out, but I forgot what it was. Yes, Yerushalmi Shabbos brings down the Meiri. So in Shabbos Daf Kuf Yuches, and he says the Psikla evidently says that. The low pliki. One to say about B'nai Torah, and the other say about Poalim. So it's earlier than the Meiri. Okay, so the B'nai Moshe learns, as I said, that the next statement is linked to this statement. Ma'aseh b'chosid echad sheyotze til b'karmo b'Shabbos. So Ma'aseh b'chosid went out to for spatzir, for a walk in his vineyard on Shabbos. V'rosham pirza achas. It's both on the Bavli as well. He saw there a breach in the wall. V'chashel gojam Motzei Shabbos, and he thought, Motzei Shabbos, I have to fix it, have to fence it. He said, "V'chashavti l'godra," since I thought on Shabbos to fence it up. Any godra lomis, I'm never going to fence it up. As a knas for myself for having had this thought on Shabbos. So he was himself, even though he just had a thought. It's more than much more machmir than Rabbi Avo, who said Shosi Maimer, don't speak about it. Even for a thought, he was fine himself. Mapla Kodesh Baruch, what did Kodesh Baruch do for him? Zimein lo sukkah acha shel nitzba. He produced in that spot a sukkah. Here means not a sukkah, but a like a branch or some sort of the caper tree. And it went into that breach because and it made the fence. It mended the breach. Not only was it mend the breach of the vineyard, Mena Yonizon from this caper tree, he was able to derive sustenance. Mena Yospariskom, and was able to make a parnasa his entire life. So he was rewarded for his. He was rewarded that he was able to get his parnasa from his entire life. Amar Chin said, "B'doichak, he tiru she'lishol v'shalom Shabbos." Only with great difficulty they allowed the people to say shalom on Shabbos. So the Korbanei says Neshi Amir Sheina Tzricha, and here the Bnei Moshe is pretty close. He says Shafiu Dibur Kazer Lamai b'Shabbos. Even this type of talk you should diminish on Shabbos, I guess, because not Tzarech Shabbos. Chaim says consider Divrei Chol. Rabbi Chia Baba said Rabbi Shimon Kabachamil Imi Mishtoi Sagin. When Shimon Chai saw his mother speaking a great deal, Hava Amar La, you would say Shuvsa Ki at Shabbos. You're not supposed to speak so much on Shabbos. Tani, we went to the Bryce. Also, Shabbos. Person is not allowed to ask for his needs on Shabbos. Korban is very nice pshat here. Levisha miklau anik Shabbos. It's part of anik Shabbos. Sheyachshov. Although a person should think about his situation. Kilu kol malachto asui, as if all his work is complete. Somebody who asks for his needs, he shows the opposite. He also brings anxiety to his heart, which is also no good on Shabbos. The Zero said, asked Rechia that's his mom, Reinu Parnasenu. What about when it says those language in benching? So you're allowed to mention on Shabbos. Well, he said, yes, Tofa's brachas kachu. This is the format of the bracha, and you don't change the format of the bracha from a weekday just because it's Shabbos. The format of the bracha remains the same. The only, as Pnei Moshe said, v'lomru elashlo lahosi b'tachnunim al tzrachim. Not to add tachnunim, of course, some people, I believe, according to Minhag HaGrot, don't say the rachmans on Shabbos, because the rachmans are not part of the Tofa's bracha. An additional supplications, and therefore they don't say much Shabbos. Tani, we learned medichin kosos. You can wash cups, koros, and plates with tamchuyin, serving bowls. The Shabbos, the shachris from Friday night to shachris. The shachris till the afternoon. The chatzos to midday. Chatzos mincha to mincha. But to wash your utensils from after mincha is also because that's a chol motzei Shabbos. Because it's mutter, the one exception is cups. Because there's no specific time when people drink all the time. So you can wash cups even if it's after mincha time. Rabbi Yirmiyah Ziv Shem Rechia Barash said, "Isha pikachas," a woman who is a smart woman. Medicha kos kan, she washes a cup here. In this corner of the house, Karakan, a plate here, Tamakan, a serving dish here. Nim says my bet says Besa be Shabbos. So this is this way she tamps down the dirt in her house on Shabbos. So we didn't let you tamp down the dirt directly on Shabbos because you might come lashbuya gumos. We don't let you pour liquid directly on the dirt on the floor because it might come to smooth out the floor, which is the issur of. But on Shabbos, this indirect way, Chachamim were permitted it to permit you without chayshish that you could have come from the dripping water from your washing kalim to actually smooth out the floor on Shabbos. Just stamps down the dirt automatically. Razir Shem Chisda said, Yom Kippurim Shechal Yais, the Korban Eder changed it to Erev Shabbos. Yom Kippur comes out on Erev Shabbos, Ein Token. You don't do tekios. You don't blow the shofar in order to tell people that Shabbos is on because people aren't working anyway. It's Yom Kippur. Not work. It's also been malacha. Even malacha zocha nefesh. Lacha Shabbos ain't mabdilin. And conversely, if Yom Kippur goes after Shabbos, you don't do havdalah as we do between Shabbos and Yom Tov because there's no malacha. Malachas remains also. There's no point doing havdalah at that time. Malachas also is eating is also. No point in doing havdalah. So the Gemara says is that only like Rabbi Akiva, Mak Rabbi Akiva, who said in our Mishnah that Yom Kippur is like Shabbos, and therefore again the korbanos of neither is carbon the other. Rak Shmuel Mavdi. Well, actually, Mak Rabbi Akiva is other Akiva. That's actually the way to read it is it's a statement. Ma, what is it like? It's only Rabbi Akiva. Rank Rabbi Shmuel, but Rabbi Shmuel you do make Havdalah because Rabbi Shmuel holds that your makriv Chel Shabbos and Yom Kippur. The Chel Shabbos are left over Shabbos Yom Kippur, so therefore make Havdalah in order to show that malacha, which if it was actually still Shabbos would be awesome. Now since it's only Yom Kippur, you go down level, so therefore it is you would make Havdalah to signify that that's okay at this point. Because that's the sheet of Chavis Shabbos on Yom Kippur. Rabbi Ezer Kriyamana. You know what? No, I take that back. The whole thing is part of the question. The way I was doing it the first time. Mak Rabbi Kiva, Branka Shema Mavdil, Shkei Chavis Shabbos Krim Yom Kippurim. Or maybe it says Kriyamana. No, I feel Rabbi Shmuel even like Rabbi Shmuel, you wouldn't make Havdalah between Shabbos and Yom Kippur. So why do you make Havdalah? Is it not to be matir something which is previously aser? But these chalavim, they were mutter to be makar on Shabbos. Okay, they're also mutter on Yom Kippur because the Chav Shabbos came in Yom Kippur. But not being matir something which was aser previously. So there's no point in making Havdalah just because Chav Shabbos came in Yom Kippur. So the Rabbi Shmuel said the brother Rabbi Yehuda said, yeah, you should make Havdalah, but Yavdil. Shekachu matir l'dir kvashim v'shlokos. So there's a head on Yom Kippur. Chazal were matir to even though it's not Tzarech Yom Kippur, so it's Tzarech Yom Kippur. They allowed you to rinse kvashim v'shlokos, vegetables, pickled vegetables, and cooked vegetables. Which you would not have been allowed to do on Shabbos to prepare for Yom Kippur, obviously. You're not even able to do a regular Shabbos to prepare for Motzei Shabbos. So it's specifically in Yom Kippur, right? So Rabbi Yossi said, "Klumu mutal adiyah kvash v'shlokos." So when is he allowed to? What is he allowed? At what point is he allowed to be rinse kvash v'shlokos? So I mean, the mincha ma'ala is not for mincha ma'ala the next day. Yom Kippur afternoon. It's not mutar Motzei Shabbos. So we wouldn't make Havdalah Motzei Shabbos. There's no because you're on. There's no heter until the next day in the afternoon. So Motzei Shabbos, it wouldn't be appropriate. Okay, it says we're fine. If you have the mincha ma'ala, make mincha the next day. Between the morning of Yom Kippur after Yom Kippur to show you now you can be meidiyah kvash v'shlachos. Says Gemara. How are you going to make this Havdalah? Manavshach. When are you going to make a Havdalah by Mincha? Kos. You're going to make a kos. Enkan. There's no cup, right? Because you can't drink. Ner. Enkan. Right? This is it's interesting. The Korban says Ner Enkan. The Momo, it's a daytime. So even if you had candle lit for 24 Shabbos, wasn't going to be good. Gam Ekan Ner Shabbos. Also, it's that Ner Shabbos. So how are you going to make Havdalah? Because in Yom Kippur you have to have Ner Shabbos. Let's talk about the Ner Shabbos aspect. Article doesn't mean that, but he says being something else. He says that because you can't have a candle because you can't light a candle now. Okay, I see where no Shabbos went in. Anyway, um, it's interesting. He brings out here. It's from the Gemara that if you were able to light a candle Yom Kippur, you can make Havdalah on the candle. And it says that's like the Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer. It says Shemisha Ein Lo Yain Mavdil on there. Okay, I don't know such a sheet, not that I recall at least. Okay, so anyway, Bamel Mavdil. How would we make Havdalah? So the Gemara says, well, B'tfilah. B'tfilah. So the Gemara says, "Feel Yavdil nim to the kaima kushiyaso yamin min chalmao." So if that's the case, question is it's a legitimate question. Make Havdalah b'tfilah. What's the problem? So the Gemara says you can't do that. So must be going our must be going like the opinion that Knivas Yerik is also Yom Kippur. But the more Pashim Shah is like the article says, V'lo Mishani, and the Reb Chaim says V'lo Mishani doesn't actually give an answer. Okay, that brings us on to the next Amud and the end of the parak as well.